Hello, Movement Dallas coaches and athletes. I'm going to be getting back to doing these weekly updates. We noticed a little bit of a gap in our communication, and people weren't understanding why we were doing certain things at certain times. So I want to make myself more available, digitally and in person. Just reach out to me. Another thing you're going to notice is a lot more detail in the notes. Okay, a lot of these are going to be tied to our PNOE metabolic analysis information and scores. If you need more information on those, I am more than happy to help explain that stuff. And I'm going to get a little bit into some nomenclature on that towards the end of this video. But I want to go through this week's programming kind of from a 10,000 square foot view. I like saying 10,000 square foot view, not 10,000 foot view, because we're thinking about a big old mansion. Anyway, that's just me, my attempt at funny. Okay, so we have Monday. We're starting off with some lifting. We got a clean pull and a power clean. So we're working on our technique here, trying to get our hips through and then getting the same hips through into our catch. So that should help us get a little bit higher in our weight. If you're feeling good, go for a new PR. Always feel like you can just go for it if you want to. We've got a Metcon after that called Gordon Ramsay. This is going to be a really, really hard Metcon. A lot of intervals this week. So you're going to have 3 minutes on, 1 minute off. You're going to have 6 power cleans, 12 ring dips. You're going to have 24 double unders for foundation. You're going to have push-ups, and you're going to have single unders. Now you're doing that at 50% of your weight that you hit in the lifting cycle. And basically what we're looking for here is just repeatable scores. You're probably looking at 2 rounds per round. 2 rounds per 3-minute window. Going on to Tuesday, we have the beginning of a Wendler 5-3-1. So we are going to be doing 3 sets of 5 back squats. You're going to notice for the next 3 weeks that the last set is going to be a plus. So you're going to have 5 plus. If you're feeling it, go for 8 reps, go for 12 reps, go for 15 reps. Just send it on that. Now, if you don't have a 1 rep max, you're just going to go off perception. You're going to go like, oh, this is a 7 out of 10 hard. This is a 7.5 out of 10 hard. This is an 8.5 out of 10. You know, you're just going to basically have to have some feels for that. You're going to have a Metcon after that called Graham Elliott. It's going to have some squatting. It's going to have some wall balls. It's going to have some salt bite calories, some step ups, and then the devil's press at the end are going to be really, really challenging. So the key to this one, don't be a hero on the wall balls and pull with your arms on the assault bike. It's going to be tempting just to tear the quads up, but make sure that you're using your arms. And then on those step ups, keep your shoulders low. Stay on the corner of the box. It's going to be a lot better. Another thing you can do is leave your foot up on the box, right? So right foot goes up, left foot goes up, left foot down, right up to right foot, you know. So if we're tapping, then we don't have to fully offload and switch our feet. It's going to save you a ton of time. And your coaches will be able to help you with that. And we'll be going over that in our coaches call this week. After that, we're going to have a tempo bench press. So I've been hearing that some shoulders are angry. Tempos are going to help our tendons kind of feel better. Now, when we use those tempos, those eccentric reps, which means away from the center, which is the lowering part of the movement, we actually do lose or attenuate some of our strength gains, but we greatly de-stress the joints. So we always want to be basically maximizing our performance without getting hurt. So again, when we're feeling a little run down, tempo is a great way to continue training hard, but decrease our risk of injury and our perception of sensitivity. From there, you're going to have a workout called Misty Norris, which is, again, going to be some 2 on 1 off intervals. You're going to have 9 of them in total. So this is a long piece, 27 minutes, for those people who are doing math. With this, basically, you're going to have 2 movements and then a finisher. It's only 3 total movements for the workout. Your pull-ups are going to be probably the highest difficulty, the highest muscle fatigue area here. So just be cautious on those. You may have some tight shoulders from the bench press the day before, so that burpee to target may be hard to control that eccentric. If you don't feel like you can, then I want you to go to a sprawl, which is a no push-up burpee. So just pop into a plank position, touch the thing, pop into a plank position, touch the thing. If you don't feel like you need to be doing push-ups today, you are totally welcome to do sprawls, and you'll be coached through that as well. After that, we're going to have our strength one, which is on the 25th. That's going to be front squats as a primary, rear foot elevated split squats, dumbbell, single leg RDLs. Really great. And then some Tabata. Then we have our 12 days of Christmas in July. We did this last year. I think this is going to be the annual tradition. It's going to go like the song, and you'll see that in the notes. So on the first day of Christmas, your true love gives you a 100-meter run. And then on the second day, you get 2 dumbbell devil's press and a 100-meter run. Then you're going to get some thrusters, devil press, and a run. And then renegade rows, devil press, or thruster, devil press, run, and so on and so forth. Those workouts are always hard. Now, one thing I do want to touch on, with this new note, you're going to see something called VT1. You're going to see something called VT2. I want to explain what those mean. So if you've done your Panoe analysis, you actually know what that heart rate is. VT1 is the heart rate zone in which we consider exercise has actually begun. So that for most people is really, really low. That is essentially where your zone 2 enters, right? VT2 is also known as your lactate threshold. So lactate threshold is a blood work analysis. VT2 is a respiratory analysis, but they're going to happen basically at the same time if you're measuring them concurrently. VT2 is where the maximum sustainable exercise happens. Most people, that's around 150 to 170 beats per minute. And that is where you're feeling that lactate bath, and the pain tolerance is probably the issue. Once you go above that VT2, you will not be able to sustain that exercise for more than like 30 seconds because you've gone full anaerobic, and we can get into that more. But basically, VT2 is where your exhaust, or like the metabolic trash, is not able to clear fast enough for you to sustain it. Everything between VT1, which is again where exercise begins, and VT2, where exercise intensity is so high that you can't continue it, should be sustainable exercise. And again, if you get your Panoe analysis done, I can tell you what those numbers are per a given metric. So like if you're on a rower, I can tell you what your VT1 and VT2 are on a rower. Now it's going to be slightly different with a mixed modal Metcon, but it's going to be within 10%. And again, sorry, I get really conceptual with these things because there's a lot of nuance, and I'm a exercise scientist at heart. So if you ever want kind of clarification on that stuff, I would love to talk to you on the whiteboard. I hope that helps. And email me, marshall@movement.com, if you have any questions about how our programming works. I use something called undulating periodization. And again, it's a little bit conceptual, a little bit complex, but it fits our community a lot better. And I can explain why that is better in person. There's always a debate in the industry. It's like, do you just ascribe a program, and basically if people don't commit to it, then that's on them? Or do you ascribe a program that should fit the most people at the most amount of times? And that's what I've done. So I'm not assuming that everyone's going to go to class every single day and follow the program to a T. I am trying to hit the middle for the most amount of people in our gym at a given time. So it's a unique challenge, but hopefully that is a little bit clarifying, and the notes going forward should be a little bit, well, considerably more detailed. So hopefully that's enjoyable for all of you that are into reading, which I am not, unless it's a picture book.